This is a Peterbilt 335 mechanics truck. It's made by Sword and it's in 1/50th scale. Now this mechanics truck is for Kern County Fire. So why does a fire department need a mechanics truck? Not that the fire engines and ambulance and whatnot don't break down, but to have a mechanics truck is kind of interesting. Well, Kern County is out there around Bakersfield, California, and they do a lot of forest fires. So they have a lot of, the special dozers just for doing fire breaks and whatnot. And that's why they have a service truck, which makes a lot more sense. Now, Sword does a fantastic model with these trucks. They really do. They're just, they're very nice. They're heavy. And as far as the service truck goes, yeah, there's the Northcott service trucks that are out there. There's the first gear ones, and those aren't bad trucks, but this is really nice. It just has a lot of little details to it that are just fantastic. I mean, right off the bat, if you look underneath, it looks great. You even have the hose reels, which I would imagine are the welding leads. I don't see a welder, but I imagine it's probably in one of these boxes here. Like maybe that rear box, I don't know. Or it's got a pair of bottles in there. That's entirely possible. You do have an air compressor right here. And like I said, the detail on these trucks is fantastic. Anyway, you do have an air compressor right there. I don't know why you'd have two air lines running out the back. But, I mean, it's possible. Maybe they set it up whichever way they need it. Who knows? So anyway, if you pop the hood, you got some great detail on the motor. Again, Sword. You have the, sometimes these are spring lines, sometimes they're just cables, sometimes it's like a, I don't know what it's called, like a woven piece of belt. All it does is it catches the hood when you open it up, because once you get over center, all this weight comes down, and it keeps the stress off of the joints down here, the hinges, for the hood. And it's pretty cool to see that on such a tiny scale. That's such a minimal thing to have on a model, but it's there, and that's really cool. So all the motor details there that should be there, which is pretty nice. The wheels do steer just a little bit. Now none of the toolboxes open up, but the ones on the top do. And you have some detail in there, some tools and hoses and whatnot, which is pretty cool. But those are the only boxes that open up, which is, it's a little disappointing, but to be honest, as small as these doors are, you'd probably just be making problems trying to get all those to open up. Now the doors do open up. I might have to get the old super tool. Now Sword, and well, TWH also, they always include this nice little toothpick here, because sometimes the doors are hard to open up because they're so tight. And I think that speaks a lot to just the quality and detail that are in these trucks, that the doors and everything are just so tight. And you can kind of see in there, it's kind of hard with the light, but you have all the detail in there that you should. You even have your little teeny tiny fire extinguisher, so your little teeny tiny DOT inspector will be pretty happy to see that. Yeah, you got your single air horn, because it's a 335, it's a basic Peterbilt. Yeah, it doesn't have to be all out. You got some antennas up there too, which is pretty cool. Now, the service crane over here, it doesn't work. It looks like it does, but it doesn't. There's no extra rope in there. It doesn't, scope out or anything like that, but it does look pretty good. It is hooked in there, and it really does look pretty good. Yeah, you even got your little vise on the back. What mechanic truck doesn't have a vise on the bumper? Come on. And you got the lights there. Now, what's interesting is the license plate. On most of the Sword trucks, they say Sword, and you have the the year of manufacture, but here you actually have a California license plate. I think that's California exempt and a number, which is pretty darn cool. So overall, it's a fantastic truck. All these mechanics trucks from Sword are just great. Now that I'm thinking about it, this might actually be made by TWH. It's not a Sword, it's a TWH truck. I don't know why I said it was a Sword. It's actually TWH. Now, it's a real fine line between Sword and TWH. TWH built all the trucks for Sword, but not all TWH trucks are Swords, if that makes any sense. So, that's about all I have for this. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. If you have any comments, feel free to add. If you want to see more of what we have, please subscribe to Maryland Construction Diecast. And thanks for watching.